was able to save over $20,000 in just 3 to 4 years, earning $11 per hour, a minimum wage salary. So in this video, I am going to share with you exactly how I did that so you can be inspired, encouraged, and motivated to save even if you're earning a minimum wage income. Now, I know it might not be 20K for everyone, and that is totally okay, but these principles will show you that you can save no matter what your income is. So let's jump into it. And these principles that I'm about to share with you, when I actually saved this money, I didn't even know that I was applying these principles. But as I learn now and as I grow more and learn more about success, I look back and I realize that these were the principles that I applied. That is how I know principles are no respecter of person. They are respecter of your faith, and they will work whether or not you know that you are applying them. So once you apply them, they will work with you or against you. Principles are no respecter of person. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are, where you're from, what your experiences are. Principles work no matter what. Once you apply them, it's either they will work for you or they will work against you. But thankfully, these principles that I'm going to share with you today are principles that will work for you once you apply them. They are a respecter of your faith and not who you are. The number one principle I applied, I turned my challenge into an opportunity. So when I just moved from Jamaica to Canada, I was starting completely from scratch and I didn't have a lot of money when I arrived here. And immediately when we arrived, I had bills to pay, rent, damage deposit, and outstanding rental payment. Here's what happened. I owed about $3,200 between back rent and damage deposit. And my employer gave me the option to withdraw $400 bi-weekly from my paycheck to cover that over maybe about 8 weeks time. At first, I was nervous because I was new here. I don't know how I would survive on $400 for the week for 2 weeks. So I was like, no, I don't think this is a good idea. But anyways, I decided to go with it and to see how it works. So I said to my employer, okay, you can do the first week and then I'll see how I manage. And then after that, we can make necessarily adjustment, maybe like $200 bi-weekly or whatever. But anywho, when they did deduct that $400, I realized that I managed pretty fine. I realized things was okay. I lived pretty fine. I was able to eat and everything was good. Right? So they continued doing that until I was able to pay up all that was owed. And during that time of them taking out that $400, a light bulb came on. I realized that I was doing just fine. Nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing taken. So I decided to turn that challenge into an opportunity. So what I decided to do after they were done taking out the money, I myself would continue to take out $400 bi-weekly out of my pay and put it away for saving. I realized that if I could survive with $400 less in my paycheck, why not save that for myself? So that's exactly what I did. I went all in. I became militant about my saving. Sometimes I save $400, sometimes I save $200, but I was consistent. I created a habit of saving, and that habit turned into a little fortune wealth over time. The second principle I applied was I paid the right price, which is delayed gratification. I realized early that every decision comes with a price. Either you pay the discipline now or you pay the regret later. And I chose delayed gratification. I told myself I could spend this money now and feel good for the moment, or I could save this money and be secure when the days of famine come. And don't ask if the days of famine are coming, because they are coming. There's no if, no but, nor maybe. It's when it comes. So we always have to make sure that we're preparing for those famine days. And let me tell you for sure, the days of famine did come. But because I had sacrificed and saved, I was able to survive those tough days without being stressed out and depressed. And I will share more about those days of famine in the next video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. The third principle I applied was diligent. I was faithful and diligent with the little I had. Even though I wasn't making much, I was faithful with what I had. As the scripture tells us in Luke 16 verse 10, whoever can be trustworthy with very little can also be trustworthy with much. So I was diligent, and I believe God honored me because I was faithful with the little that I had. God was able to bless me with even more. The first huge surprise, increase, blessing I got was my first tax return. I filed it myself and I received over $2,000. And that was way above my coworkers who had the same hours and the same wage as me. That was way above what they received. I was so blown away. And please don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to brag or boast here, and I'm not saying that they weren't saving, but it was so surprising that I got significantly more in return than they did. And they actually got someone who was a professional tax person to file their tax, and nobody did my tax, and I got more money. The second huge surprise blessing that I got was a friend offered me a part-time job, and I took it. Even though it wasn't a lot more money, but it was more, and I saved that too. I was so militant because, and it's not that I was living like way beneath my means. Honestly, I was shopping, I was going to the store, I was buying all the food that I wanted, I was buying my clothes because, as I said, I just moved to Canada, so it was a start over. So I was starting over with clothes, with all the utensils and all the things that I needed in my house. However, be mindful that at the time I did not have a family, so I was a single person. So I do not want you to compare yourself with me in terms of your income and what my expenditure were. Do not compare yourself with me that way. The only thing that you're supposed to do is compare yourself with yourself, your expenses, your income, and apply these principles. Because like I said, these principles will work once you apply them. And if I was able to do it, you can do it too. It may not be $20,000, but the key is that you apply the principles, you're diligent in what you have, you apply delayed gratification. And it's not only in your finances that we're supposed to apply these principles, because they work in every aspect of our life. So just bear that in mind, and I want you to take away that as the main key. It's not how much I was specifically able to do, but it's the principles that work. And once you apply them, they will work for you based on the goal that you have set. So what I basically did, I wasn't living below my means. I was living within my means, right? I didn't go overboard with my spending. I bought what I needed, and I was smart about it. And like I said, even in that time, I was able to shop and spend money back home to Jamaica, send money for friends, help out a friend or my parents at the time. I was even able to buy gifts for friends. I was able to pack a barrel and all of those stuff. I did those things because here's one of the things that I did was I bought a lot of stuff on sale. If it wasn't on sale, I didn't really buy it. And the next thing I did was, I didn't do any unnecessary shopping. You don't need to do that, right? So I took care of the essentials and I skipped the extra stuff, the extra fluff. And another important thing was that during that time, I was still able to buy a car. I bought a car that was used, very, very low mileage, like about 80K mileage on it. And that was like after 2 years of being in Canada, right? I was able to save that money, and I didn't have to go into my funds because, when you buy a car, you just pay I had to pay a down payment at the time, so I did the down payment, and I was able to pay for that car bi-weekly. So I just want to encourage you to know that you can do it. You can save no matter what. So the fifth tip that I want to leave with you today is that I kept the same lifestyle even though I made more money. And this is really important because a lot of times we're so tempted. If I'm making more, my lifestyle have to be more. And that is why we will find ourselves constantly living from paycheck to paycheck. So do not increase your lifestyle when your pay increase. No, don't do that. Because when I got that second job, I didn't increase my lifestyle. I didn't get a bigger car. I didn't buy any bigger fancy stuff. That money that I was earning, that extra money, I put it in my saving. So instead of increasing your lifestyle, increase your savings and your investment, and you will never regret it. So like I said, there is always a price that we have to pay. Is either we pay the discipline now or the regret later. I want to make sure that you get this very important point, because I see a lot of people do this all the time. So make sure if your income increase, you do not automatically go ahead and increase your spending. If your income increase, but your savings does not increase, you will always be at the same level, struggling to get by, because it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that really matters. And that is why you see a lot of people who are earning big income, they're still struggling to get by, and I wonder how. But now I know how, because they don't manage their money well. And this is not to say that I'm criticizing anybody or putting down people. It's just that it's something that we need to be aware of. I want you to know that it doesn't matter how much you're making right now, whether that is $11 like I was making or more, you can save and build wealth. It's just a matter of applying these principles. Number one, be disciplined. Remember to turn your challenges into opportunities. Be diligent with the little that you have, and make sure that you're always willing to pay the right price, which is delayed gratification. And if this video has inspired and encouraged you today, I want you to drop in the comment, delayed gratification, we are willing to pay the right price. And today I ask you, please do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with someone else to make sure that other people can get these valuable content. And subscribe to the channel for more of these inspiring content. Let's build wealth together. We got this. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.